The 5 most common mistakes when starting a business that lead to their failure. These mistakes are common, and when you avoid them, you are going to increase your chances of success tremendously. Hi, I'm Eduardo. I'm a business coach and consultant. I've been doing this for 33 years. I've analyzed hundreds, if not thousands, of businesses, and I think you could benefit from it. So mistake number 5 on our list of 5 is not having enough marketing money. So what happens is a lot of people, they spend lots of money to open up their business, to set it all up and everything, and they forget one of the most critical parts of a business, which is marketing, right? Which is the art of letting people know that you are there, that your service is around, and it's also the art of generating leads. And they don't put enough emphasis and certainly not enough money aside for marketing, and that is a huge mistake that will lead to their failure. Mistake number 4 on our list is they don't design the business to succeed right off the bat. So what happens is that they just open up the business as fast as possible. They're in a hurry, and they don't look at all of the issues that are likely going to come up and how to address them. So they're basically doing it by trial and error instead of thoughtfully going and methodically going through all of the steps that you need to do to make sure that you are in a position for success. Mistake number 3 in our countdown is positioning the business. Positioning the business for success. So what happens is, inevitably, as you open up a business, when the person starts up, they're going to have assumptions. And those assumptions a lot of them are going to be wrong in the marketplace. Because it goes back to mistake number 4 of not designing it properly and not taking into account everything that is going to be happening. So then what happens is that the person, that new business owner, starts to compete on price because it's the only way they know how. And that is a horrific way of doing business, because there's always someone that is going to be lower than you. So you never compete on price. And when you position yourself properly in the marketplace, you don't have to. So that now you literally are positioning yourself for success. Now, mistake number 2 on our countdown, one of the most horrific mistakes that people never think about, is the actual cost or effort of obtaining or contacting that client, or that potential client. People never think, well, how much is it going to cost me per lead? How much is it going to, or what is the effort in terms of time that I need to put in to get one customer? They never think of that. They just have the assumption that, well, I'm going to open up the business, I'm solving this issue, this is fantastic, they're going to just come on in. That's good. That is good. However, you don't know what kind of effort that you need to put in to get that customer. For instance, is it a B2B? In other words, is it a business-to-business service? And if it is, that means that you're going to have to most likely get around a gatekeeper in that company, like the owner's secretary. So you need a strategy to make sure that you're going to get there. And it has to be comprehensive. You can't just assume things that, yes, people are just going to jump on board. And it doesn't matter how good the product or service is going to be, this needs to be considered. So if you consider how much time and effort and what the cost is to contacting a client, then you're going to be in great shape to succeed. Now, mistake number 1. Mistake number 1 that everyone usually does is they go it alone. People are constantly thinking that when they open up their business, this is a venture that they're going to do on their own. And what happens is no one, and I mean no one, can forecast all of the things that are going to be in front of you, that are going to be potential barriers. And so a lot of times, and you know what, it doesn't even matter what kind of background you have. I mean, if you're a marketing specialist, you may not know enough about operations. If you are in operations, you may not know enough about sales. And all of these issues are going to be compounding one on top of another, and they're going to be barriers to that business of yours to succeed. So when you go it alone, and I get it, because a lot of times you as an entrepreneur, you're the only one around you that is going to say positive things towards opening up that business, because your family is too scared. All of your friends are thinking, there's no way, that you're going to succeed. But remember, they're also talking from their own perspective, right? So one of the most important things for a business to succeed is to make sure that you don't do it alone, and that you have good, competent advice, so that you can forecast all of the things that are ahead of you, or that are going to be likely ahead of you, so that you have a smoother road. Because most people do things is by trial and error. When they open up their business, they don't think that they're going to have any issues, but of course they are. And if you look at it from this realistic perspective, your chances of success is going to just catapult so much more. You are likely going to succeed versus likely going to fail, which is what happens in the marketplace today, but it doesn't have to be. So getting proper advice is one of the most critical things that you as a business entrepreneur and owner can do to make sure that you reach a good level of success for yourself. Think of it this way. Getting good business advice is insurance for your business, because they have seen, someone like myself who's been in that for 33 years, I've seen so much in business that likely I'm going to, whatever those circumstances are going to be ahead of you, I'm likely going to see. And because I faced it already before with the previous client, I'm going to likely have an answer for you as well. I give you something very, very simple. Yesterday, I was with a client. It was the first time that I had met him. Really smart, young entrepreneur, young family, just a great guy, just a great person, and really liked him. And one of the things that he had said to me, he said, "Look, Duarte, I just did my business card. Can you have a look at it?" And he sent the business card to me so that I had a look at it. And right off the bat, it didn't take me more than 2 seconds. And I said, well, number one, I mean, the card itself, in terms of colors and design, was great. But number one, he didn't have a catchy slogan, something that resonates with people quickly and that tells something about your business in a very succinct way. He didn't have that. So that was number one, because you want to make sure that people remember your company quickly. I often give my clients an example, which is I was on the highway driving, and there is a transport company that has on their trailers, on the back of their trailers, and the company is called Fluke Transportation. I have no affiliation to them, okay? But it's called Fluke Transportation. And on the side of it, their slogan is, if it gets there on time, it's not a fluke. Imagine that. Something that's going to keep in your mind, and it did. As that's why I'm talking to you right now about that. So you need a catchy slogan. And the other thing is that he had some writing on the back of his card that actually went over the logo, which you never do. So something like this is just a simple example of the mistakes and the errors that you can avoid just by having good advice with you and someone who is interested in your business. So I hope that this is helpful to you, and if you like this kind of content, please follow me and do drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Talk to you tomorrow.